Okay, let me.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leslie Pyle, and I am the founder of HireMyMom.com. And today I'm super excited to have Dale Oates, president of Planet Kids, with me, and he's going to tell you all about this wonderful company and opportunity. So, Dale, thank you so much for joining me.
Glad to be here, Leslie. Appreciate you having me on with you. So that's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
this youth program, my wife was the one that actually talked me into starting it back in November of 1989. That's so if anything goes wrong, I always blame her, but I would never do that. But anyways, yeah, we wanted to help provide a safe place for kids to come on a Friday night.
Mhm.
We were trying to work with our church in a little town called Rockwall, Texas, as you know, as possibly a place to bring kids. So, we opened up our very first one in November of 1989 as a place where mom and dad could bring like a first grader through sixth grade, because that's kind of the age that really needs some attention. You can't just leave them home.
Right.
So we opened up our doors and we had a format together. We rented out a little health club, a little place for this, and we opened up our very first one. We had security at the front door. We have all these wonderful activities scheduled. And so what had happened is um, it took off. Within 6 weeks, we had over 550 kids coming on Friday night. And it just kept snowballing to where other health clubs were reaching out to me, asking me, Dale, would you open here? Would you open there? So within the first year and a half, I had 14 locations running in different health clubs.
Wow.
And so it had started to the point to where other cities were reaching out to me, Leslie, because they liked the format. I had the Dallas Morning News asking me to do some articles on me. I had the Mr. Peppermint Show asked me to come on and talk about my youth programs. I had the Morris Brothers with Casey Fox and their shows. And the thing is we were just trying, all we were trying to do is provide a safe place for these little kids to come from 7 o'clock until 11 o'clock, to where
Right.
mom and dad had peace of mind. They could go out and enjoy dinner or a movie. And we've got their little ones kind of in a bona fide babysitting service, but actually in a controlled, exciting, uplifting program. And
Yeah, I
so,
love that. And so,
that's what everybody was trying to say. Dale, that's what we need.
and so now you have locations at a lot of elementary schools. Is that right?
Well, that's what's happened over the years. In the early 90s, the school district started reaching out to me in 97 and said, Dale, would you consider having your programs working with us? Because the community education programs, the continuing ed, they said, hey, we're trying to do continuing ed for parents, but they're also asking, is there a place that they can bring their children? And so we worked out contracts with them to where we started opening up on Friday nights within an elementary school using their cafeteria and their gym. And of course we had to form a NPO, which is a nonprofit organization called Communities for Kids, because to only get contracts with districts, you've got to form these programs. And we did. I mean, we follow all the guidelines. That's the whole thing about it. But more than anything is my job is, from what I've developed over the last 30, almost 34 years, is I want to teach and train people that have a heart for kids, Leslie. That's the whole thing about it. If you love kids, which I know most people do, and you want to be able to spend some time with them, get a hold of me and reach out and let's talk about what can we do to get you involved in one of these programs. Now, we were in 31 school districts prior to COVID, and over 10,000 parents a weekend relied on our program. But then when COVID hit, we had to shut them all down, just like everybody had to do with their companies and their corporations. They had to shut them down. And so we had to sit for 20 months while they were trying to figure out what was going on. And before school district felt comfortable enough about calling us back, well, now they're calling us back and they're saying, Dale, will you please reopen? And so that's what I'm in the process of working right now, finding folks to get involved in our program again, because we had over 387 staff running these programs until we got shut down. And so
Right.
right now we have 10 to 15 locations, but we're adding more that are expanding, and we're just looking for quality people to get involved. And to be honest with you, Leslie, I've actually had to turn this into a business opportunity for moms or
Yeah.
dads or both, because I just can't keep up with the demand on the program.
Right. So if someone, not in your area thinks, man, this might be a great opportunity for me to earn additional income
Yes.
part-time, and still be able to be at home with my kids or whatever it might be that they're looking for. So tell us a little bit about what that process would look like if someone wanted to start one of these in their area.
Absolutely. What I try to do is when somebody reaches out to me and says, "Hey, Dale, would you be interested in opening our community?" First thing I try to do is find somebody that lives in that community, like I said, has a heart for kids. And what I try to do is I interview them and I find out what is it they really want to try to do. Because the first thing they're asking me is, how much time do I have to allot for this? And I let them know for one program, if you want a one run program on Friday nights, I need about 8 hours of your time a week. And so I've had a lot of school teachers and coaches and off-duty police officers reach out to me and say, Dale, we're trying to make extra money for our family. Can we do this as a husband, wife, or can I do this as a single mom? I have a lot of single moms that are raising their kids that are saying, Dale, I need to make extra money. So I've showed them how to take what I've done and developed, and I've taught them how to run it and just be successful in this business, and show them how, hey, can you be on time? Can you open up? Can we make sure we have staff in place? Backgrounds are done, police officers in place, DJs and inflatables, all that stuff. And I teach and train that. And I want you to run a successful program and you get to keep the money. And they look at me, what? I get to keep the money? I'm going, yes, I'm going to let you keep the money. And just a little bit of that, I'm going to allow you to give back to the home office so we can keep expanding our youth programs and helping those children that are in need. And that's another thing, the reason why I've started the NPOs, because a lot of the monies that come in, I will put towards kids that need a scholarship that maybe can't afford to come to one of our programs, and we try to help them out as well. But it's a great way for a, if a mom wants to stay home and have her kids involved or maybe grow a business. And to be honest with you, when I first started this, my boys were young. So I had them going with me and actually teaching and training them how to work the business. I taught them how to DJ, taught them how to work the inflatables. I taught them how to run the concessions, and to the point to where they did this all the way through high school and made money to actually buy their cars and do that. And now, of course, they're all married and have our own grandchildren now with them. But it's just the idea that you get to do something as a family if you really want to do that and make some good money.
Right. And so I'm assuming, though, if somebody says, yeah, this sounds like a great opportunity, they set up a time to talk to you, learn about the investment and all that's involved.
Yep.
And then they can open up more than one location. If they say, okay, this is doing so well, I want to go to a neighboring elementary and this one over here. So it could become very lucrative if somebody really wanted to invest in multiple locations.
And you're absolutely right. Prior to COVID, we had some folks that had 5 locations that they were running. For an example, in Henderson, Nevada, we had our programs running there. And we had somebody running the Pinecrest Academy, which was a charter school, but we signed contracts with a charter school and we opened up 5 of them, and they actually bought to where they ran all 5 as a husband and wife. So, but I do have ones that like one, but then eventually they get their second one, and some have had 3, but it's just the idea. It's just whatever you want to put into it is the key. Okay. Right. Some people are just happy with making what they make and that's what they enjoy doing. But I promise you, Leslie, I'm not one to put pressure on anybody. If they want to get involved, they want to do something like this. Like I said, I've been doing this almost 34 years, and people ask me, Dale, when are you going to think of slowing down? And I'm like, why should I? I mean, there's a need for these programs for children, especially in safe, controlled environments. And I love working with the school districts. And we still have some cities that reach out to us, maybe for some parks departments. We've had churches that have reached out to us. We've done programs in churches and their community centers for years. And you're in the Houston area. We had the most successful program at the Cypress Creek Christian Church for 24 years until Harvey hit. And then tore down that community center that we were at. But we had over 400,000 kids go through our program just at that one location.
Wow, so, that's incredible.
It's just whatever you want to put.
And that person who invests in a certain location, they can be open just Friday nights during the school year, or Friday and Saturday nights. Do they determine what they want to do?
No, if you have one location, it's either going to be a Friday or Saturday, not both nights. We're going to run it just one night. And a lot of reasons why we do Friday nights, because a lot of the elementary schools are sitting empty.
Yes.
Some of the middle school programs, if we do reach out and we do work with some of the cities that ask us to open up a middle school program, that we usually do those on Saturday night, because we try not to take away from the Friday night football. We want the community to support the Friday night football. But the reason why our programs are so successful on Friday nights during football season is because moms and dads want to have their kindergartners, first, second, third, and fourth graders with us, so they can actually focus on the game or watch their kids in the band or the cheerleaders or whatever. They're not running up and down the bleachers and driving them nuts. So that's why we're very successful on Friday nights with the programs. But we do have some Saturday. And if a parent wants more than one location, I always say, let's do one Friday and then one Saturday, especially if you want to be at both of them. Now, if you want to develop managers, which I do, I teach and train managers for them. and then they can run multiple locations to where they have managers in each one, and they just go to visit and make sure everything's going fine. But so listen, the opportunity is wide open. That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
And
So,
you alluded to earlier security, because I know that's important
yes.
for parents to know. Tell us a little bit about the security that you have.
Well, the first thing we did back in '89 is we talked to the local police department. We said, hey, what would you charge us if we could hire one of your off-duty officers to be at the front door? We just want to make sure you're present. And so what we've done is we've implemented that in everything that we've done over the last 33 years. So every location has an off-duty officer at the at the front door, to make sure when mom and dad are signing the kids in, there's no riffraff taking place. IDs, we have to make sure they show their driver's license. You know, we want to make sure there's no issues. And to be honest with you, Leslie, here's one great thing about the way we do a sign in and a sign out, compared to like when if a school does a dance, they just let the kids go, you know, and out to the cars, to the parking lots. Listen, mom and dad literally have to come in and sign them in, and then they literally have to come in and sign them out. Okay. Now we've caught to where we've had some children that were runaways. And we've helped the police departments find these children because they came with a friend, and the parent didn't know that they were a runaway child. They were just coming with a friend, and it turned to a situation where we helped save that child's life.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just saying that's one of many stories. We have so many stories of children that are abused or whatever, and we end up helping the families reach those children to the point to where they've gone on, and good Lord, we've had over 5 million kids go through our program. So many times we have children that grew up in our program are now married, and they're bringing their kids to our program. And I love those stories when I hear those.
Yeah.
I really do. But I'm just saying right now, if a parent's interested, they want to get involved, reach out to us. The best way to reach out is you can go to Planet Kids, and that's with a Z.org, and see our website. And there's some information there. You can actually click onto that if you want to do find out about a partnership. You can do that, or actually, I'll give you my email address to where they can email me directly, and that's daleskidz. I know it's crazy, but it's Dale, my name, DALEKIDZ, like a zebra, at AOL.com. Now, don't laugh because I still use AOL. People pick on me all the time, but I've had that same email since '97, and it's hard for this guy to get rid of it. So
yeah,
anyway.
and we'll link, we'll put the links and the email and everything in the comment or the description below, so people don't have to try to remember. So tell us a little bit about what kind of activities the kids do while they're there.
Well, that's the best part, because when they sign them in, they want to take off and go to the gym and the cafeteria. Normally in our cafeteria, we have a DJ set up in there, and all the DJs are background checked, as well as all of our staff. So we play all upbeat music, usually some kids bops, to where it's top 40 music, but it's clean and edited. And we have activities scheduled. We have it up on the wall so the kids can see that, hey, you know, at 8 o'clock, we got this in the dance floor. They can go to the gym, and at 8:30, there may be some dodgeball or basketball going in the gym. But we have it set up to where the kids can go back and forth. And in the cafeteria, a lot of times, we have a craft area set up. We have drawings usually about 9:30 for the kids to win prizes. We're always giving back all the time. You know, we're always doing, you know, if you win a contest or your team wins, because we're always promoting, even though the kids are from different schools, if they come, we try to get them to work together, because a lot of times, especially when they go into middle school, these coaches are pushing the kids to compete against the other middle schools, and that gets a little tough sometimes. But the elementary students, they're still young, they're still growing together, and so we're building that camaraderie with them to where they understand that, hey, if you want to play dodgeball, you're playing with dodgeball with these other kids from other schools. And then they build relationships. And I love it when we can teach these kids how to build relationships instead of always try to fight against one another, whatever they try to do. But anyways, activities are scheduled every half an hour.
Okay.
Kids can play it. They don't have to, but we also have an inflatable at each event too, if it's a bounce house or a giant slide or whatever. So the little ones, the kindergartners, first, second graders, that like to play in the bounce houses. Usually the third and fourth graders, they're in the gym doing all the activities in the gym. The fifth and sixth graders are always working with a DJ. And that's why we have it set up to where they can go and come in areas, but it's confined areas.
Right.
You know, if you're running 150 to 200 kids or even 250 kids, you know, you keep it busy. But listen, from 7 o'clock to 10:30, that's most of the times that our programs run now. We only run 3.5 hours because of the districts. we have them just busy. And so when mom and dad come to sign them out, they're like, whew, it's time.
They're
So
worn out.
yes, they are. But the activities, we have concessions available too, Leslie. I mean, they want to buy a soda, they can buy a soda, but everything we watch, we take care of. We make sure the allergies and all that to where kids don't have to worry about certain things. We really watch things closely. And then we actually have a membership form that mom and dad fill out and sign that they can do online. If they want to pre-register online, they can, or they can fill it out at the location and just let us know that we have guidelines and we follow the school guidelines. It's a zero tolerance policy.
Right. And so y'all's programs run during the school year, but not during the summer.
Yes, we run just during the school year. We need 11 weeks off during the summer to kind of recoup. We try to have a little conference workshop for all the team leaders, and I call all the licensees that buy into our program. I get them all together and I teach and work with them on anything that's coming up, updated stuff, and then they go back and they work with all their staff.
Right.
But yes, we enjoy the summers off. We've had some programs request to be open, so we've ran a couple schools to where they ran maybe 2 events during the summer versus every Friday night except for holidays. But we need that break, to be honest with you, Leslie, because you're giving up, I say 30 to 33 Fridays or Saturdays during the school year. You need that time down to just recoup. And plus, first of all, we rely on the schools working relationships as far as our marketing. And when the kids are out at camps or vacation or whatever, we may take a location running 200 kids and automatically it drops down to maybe 50 because everybody's scattered. We're just like, no, let's just shut down during the summer, pull back, regroup, and let's get ready to go either before Labor Day or right after Labor Day.
Right. And I know one question that is probably brewing in people's head is, do you have a ballpark? If somebody invested in this opportunity, a ballpark of what your typical program owners make in a month? I know it's going to vary on a lot of factors, but is there a kind of an estimated amount?
Well, I can share that. They can make anywhere from 25,000 to 50,000. All depends. It's all depends on how they listen and they run their programs, and they'll listen to my guidelines. And I'm telling you right now, if they put the kids first in everything that they do within their program, the money always follows.
Right.
That's just a no-brainer. Okay. Because those that come in and they're money hungry, they don't put the kids first. They're always worried about the money.
Yeah.
Now, if you come in and you listen and you put the kids first, those kids become the best marketers for you, and they can't wait to come back to your program. Okay.
Excellent.
So if you say, for an example, I charge 20 grand to get involved in one of my youth programs. Okay. I can show them how to get that back within their first season and then some.
Yeah.
Okay. If they listen. Okay. But again, this is only one night a weekend. It's about 30 to 33 events a school year. And that's why I said, I've got some locations that make 25,000 profit. I got some that make 50,000 profit. Again, based on your attendance. If you run 150 to 200 kids, you're making that $50,000 a year profit for one night a week for 8 hours a week. And you're doing very well. Okay. And that's when the other ones ask me, Dale, can I get a second location and a third location? Because now they don't want to do anything else. They just want to do this and spend time with their families. So, but I do have a lot of school teachers. They just do it because they need the extra income. I got one especially I love dearly. She got involved. She's a music teacher in one of the districts. And she said, Dale, I'm so sick and tired of trying to charge $75 to do piano lessons or guitar lessons. I've got kids in college. I'm a single mom and I need to make extra money. And so I had a chance to meet with her and over a luncheon, and she bought in, she got involved. And her opening night, she had over 168 kids show up for her program. She cleared over $1,650 profit that night. And she was scared to death because she says, Dale, I've never made that. And you're telling me I just made that in 3.5 hours. And I'm going, yes, you did. And she's looking at me like, I'm sold. I'm so sold on this. And she's been only on for about 6 years.
Yeah.
I love her to death. And her kids now are out of college and helping her. So
that's wonderful.
So yes.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, I think that gives people a great overview of this program that you have. I know if people are interested, like I said, we'll link your information so they can contact you with more questions or to set up a phone consultation with you and take it from there. But I'm looking forward to seeing Planet Kids expand, into a lot more areas.
We're looking forward to it as well. We're in the process of rebuilding. We would love to work with many as parents as possible. I don't care if they reach out one way or another. Please, when they do reach out, Leslie, can they make sure when they reach out to us, they let us know that they heard this on this show
Okay.
or
Yeah.
on this interview, so I know that because I want you guys to get some credit on this too, because we love tying in with HireMyMom.com. I listen. I think you help me, I help you. We all work together. The main thing is we want to put the children first in what we're trying to do.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Well, thank you so much, Del.
Yes.